Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and this is the Storyteller Forecast for Capricorn for January 2016. Check out my website, anniehelpsyou.com, or click on the link below this video, where you can see more about my personal coaching, and you can see more about my virtual coaching program, Shine, which is on a sliding scale and will help you to step into your next level of highest and best experience. And while you're there, check out my astrology blog. So what is going on in this alleged new year? And I say alleged new year because I am not buying it. If you've listened to my horoscope since last year or before, you know that I do not resonate with Happy New Year being in January. It has been thousands of years since we've been on this solar-based calendar, but astrologically the new year starts in March, when the planets start going into Aries, and there's that energy of Aries bursting forth with freshness, with spring into the new year. And that is not happening this month. That doesn't happen for much of the world in this quiet, cold time. I know that our friends down under are experiencing different weather at this time, but where I live and where many people live, this is cold, this is quiet, and energetically, either way, this is an internal time. Doesn't mean that you don't have a chance to do things. Capricorn energy can be very productive, and we have lots of energy in Capricorn. But this particular month, even more so than the general energy of January 1st not really being a bursting forth into New Year, we have got Mercury retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde January 5th. It's retrograde through January 25th. The post-shadow period lasts until February 15th. The pre-shadow period started December 20th. So this whole month and this whole new year, as they say, is completely cloaked in retrograde. January 8th, we have Jupiter going retrograde. We've got these consistent stories of these combinations with Pluto in the beginning of the month for an extended time towards the end of the month, where it's asking us to probe deeper and to go inward. It's not the energy of blasting forward. It's the energy of going backwards. It's a time for deep introspection. There is a homeschool child close to me, a 7-year-old, who said something very profound that really affected me, and it made me think about how the energy of this month is related to what he said. Not being on a hurried, gotta hurry up, gotta go to school, gotta get ready, gotta leave, gotta go drive, he has more time to be relaxed and ask some deeper questions. And so he said to me, I think tomorrow I'm going to watch the movement of the sun. That, for me, was profound for a child to say, first of all, because how much they're going to learn from doing that is just like so deep. But that is the energy of January for all of us. This is a time to move deeper into the natural rhythm of things. In modern society, we are turbocharged all the time. Everything is faster, more, bigger, more information being marketed to, and everything is flashing in front of us. And so we have this beautiful opportunity 3 or 4 times a year when Mercury goes into retrograde to slow it down, to get back to basics, to get back to simplicity. Often technological devices are going haywire. It gives us a chance to take a device break. Often transportation devices are going haywire. It gives us a chance to take a walk or ride a bike or something like that. It's this energy that wants to bring balance. That's what these transits do. They're not ever seeking to torture anyone, even though it feels like that sometimes. Many people, if you've been following Mercury retrograde, have come to have an association with it like, oh no, it's Mercury retrograde again, it's gonna be really hard. Sometimes there are challenges, but don't miss the opportunity to bring more balance of simplicity and centeredness and watching the movement of the sun and being in the natural rhythm of things. When you're in the natural rhythm, then things are much easier for you and they flow much better. So if you pull yourself voluntarily into the rhythm that you are aware of as that the stars are bringing, or the planetary movements, if you align yourself with those rhythms, you're going to have a much happier life. This month is all about that energy. It's going backwards. It's also the energy of blazing through certain internal obstacles, through deep inner work, through possibly conflict from the outside that's showing us the blocks in the inside. If you imagine life force energy moving through our bodies like a river moves through the land, and if there is a block in the way, internally we have things dam up and we get stuck and stagnant in our lives. If this happens with a river and it's dammed up, it starts to well up and get congested, and sometimes it will seek to move around the block. But the flow of the water that moves around the block is not nearly as vibrant, as rushing, as powerful as when it was taking a course that was natural for it. And this is what happens with our life force energy, that the kinds of challenges that we have in January, Sun square Uranus, Mercury square Uranus, conjunctions with Pluto and Mercury, conjunction with Sun and Pluto, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, all of these things in this 1 month are giving us this opportunity to blast through the dam. So many people have become accustomed, it's amazing what we put up with and get used to and get acclimated to, that just kind of having this mediocre, not vibrant, movement in life. That's the flow of chi, because there are all these blocks internally that the transits are bringing up. Then it creates something that we feel like we have to suffer through, but the point of the transits is to give the raw fuel to bust through the dam. That's how I see challenging transits, and I'm not sugarcoating them. They are challenging. Whenever there's a square, that's a challenging angle, and it's not always going to be pretty, and it's not always going to be easy, and much to the contrary, it's usually going to be hard. But if you use it purposely as the raw fuel that's intended to be, then this can be quite a productive month. Now, also don't think that just because Mercury is in retrograde that you can't get things done. You can get things done. Many things will be business as usual. In Capricorn, which is very prominent this month, planets in Capricorn are very productive. So you can make headway on things, but it's not the time for new launches. It's not the time to blaze forward. It's a time to strategize, to analyze the past, to get a plan together for the future. Not to blaze forward. The same thing with self-development things, so I'm always a fan of you doing anything as far as starting New Year resolutions, but you're not going to have the steam that you really want if you start in January. These resolutions are better to start in December when there's energy that's more conducive to moving forward. This way you have a good bit of momentum by the time you get to January. A lot of people are going to make a huge mistake this season, as people always say, oh, I'm going to wait to deal with all of that until after the holidays. I'm going to wait to do all those new things and launch all those things and push those projects through until after the busyness of the holidays. But if you do that, you're going to miss the opportunity. So if you're watching this before January and you have some things you want to push through, there's quite a few dates and you can check them out in my December forecast. Also, if you go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, and sign up for my free email newsletter, I write a monthly review of good dates or challenging dates, sometimes in different detail than I talk about in the videos. So you can check those out for December. So there's a lot of energy in December where you can move some things forward, but it's not going to happen in January. So just do yourself a favor, and if you can't push them through before then, just wait at least until the middle of February when the energy starts settling from the challenges that we have in January. So some things specific for Capricorn. Many of you are going to have your birthdays. So those of you who did not have your December birthdays, which we talked about in December, the rest of you are going to have your birthdays in January. Yay! I love birthdays. Happy birthday. If you've watched my horoscopes before, then you know that you have astrologically based birthday wishes. Birthday wishes are astrologically based. The sun in the sky represents the things that you want, the things that light your soul on fire. So when the sun in the sky gets to the same place as it was in your chart when you were born, there's a portal created where the universe is more receptive to your wishes. And those are your birthday wishes. So the more you can write them down, be clear about them, understand the specifics about what you really want, and then feel them as if they're coming true on that magical day of your birthday, or that time right around your birthday, it's going to take your wishes further. So definitely do that. Now, for those of you who are later born Capricorns, you might still be in, and even some of you middle degree birthdays, you might still have some strong energy in the 12th house. If you've had your birthday already, you have this strong first house energy with the sun and Mercury blazing through your first house of vitality, of physical energy of everything being about you, like a focus on yourself, a rebirth. This is what happens at the time of the year when the sun moves to where your sun is, or if it's your rising sign, the sun crosses over your rising sign. But for those of you who haven't had your birthdays yet, the time before then has this energy of the sun and Mercury in your 12th house. And this is the house of fears, real or imagined. This is the under the carpet, the garage, the deep unconscious, basically, where you collect all the things that you don't want to deal with, and you collect things that you don't even know are there. That is your deep unconscious mind. And that is where this 12th house, what this 12th house rules. So when you have a light like the sun coming in, putting like a light in an attic, it can get kind of creepy and it can get kind of heavy, but it's by design. I always believe that the transits aren't occurring to torture us, as I always say. They're happening by design. So of course it would make perfect sense that if you're going to have this opportunity where you get wishes granted, that in order to be really clear about what you want, you have to be really clear about what you don't want. So the time before your birthday often has things come up that say, hey, I don't like that. I don't want any more of that. That's something I really want to make a wish about. Oh, that's something I really want to make a wish about. Oh, I need to do a little work there. So it's perfect. It's really perfect. So if you're feeling heavier and you notice you feel a little heavier before your birthday, that's the reason for that. I did astrology for a long time before I realized that. And I'm like, why do I get kind of funky? Why do I always have something going on in the month right before my birthday? Then I figured it out, this thing with the sun. So we've got that going on for you. All Capricorns, whether you're early, middle, or late degree placements, have some activity in your 10th house. Some of you will have Mars there. Some of you will have Venus there. Either way, this is a focus on career, work, life purpose. And this is the house of Capricorn. The 10th house is the house of Capricorn. So there's vitality, there's movement, there's possibly recognition. There could be more money. There could be a raise. There could be validation. Something coming from authority figures, somebody notices you, you make a right connection, something like that. And speaking of connections, the 11th house is also accentuated for you early and middle degree placements, and this is coming soon for you later degree placements, and that is the house of networking. So there's this wonderful energy of the right person seeing you, there's this wonderful energy of meeting the right person that can connect you with your dreams, the things that you really want to do, and that's another aspect of this 11th house. The 11th house is the house of big dreams. The 12th house is the house of dreams at night. It links to that subconscious, unconscious mind that I was talking about. But the 11th house relates to your big dreams that you have in life. So having personal planets move through that space brings a focus to what is it that you really want? What do you really want to create? And why don't you just go ahead and go for it? That's what the stars are saying. It's trying to put you on this path to move in that direction. Speaking of which, on the topic of the 10th house, where I said earlier that all of you will have either Mars or Venus moving through there, bringing activity to your career, work, and life purpose, this is the house of your life purpose, which is what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime, okay? And this brings me to the study of the North and South Node. Many people who have studied astrology for a long time do not even know about the North and South Node. And it's crazy to me because it is at the core of my practice. I don't look at every person whose chart I look at, the first thing I'm looking at is their North and South Node. And they don't leave being present with me without a really good focus on their North Node, their highest expression in this lifetime. And this is something that you can study very deeply on your own as well. Linked with the North Node is the South Node. So the North Node is your Dharma, your highest expression, what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. The South Node shows us the gifts that you came in with that you can use as fuel on your North Node, but also the karma that you came in with that winds up being the block that interferes with you moving along your North Node. So there's a fantastic book called, again, Jan Spiller, I love her. She's got a book called Astrology for the Soul. So she'll show you how to find your North Node sign placement. If you're more into astrology, I recommend that you also study the house of your North Node if you know how to find that out. But if that doesn't make any sense to you, that's fine. You can just use this book and find the placement, and you will have so many aha moments. And this is that kind of time. It's like, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? Making connections to bring you further on that path of highest expression. Moving along the path of being acknowledged for the gifts that you bring. So those are the things that I really wanted to talk about for Capricorn. Definitely go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, or click in the link below this video. Definitely sign up for my free email newsletter and get my monthly write-up that I do for the month ahead. I put different information there than I talk about in the videos. And then definitely check out my blog on my website, because I use now a new format starting with December of a succinct bullet point need to know for each sign, which, you know, I'm not known for my succinctness, so this is a nice accompaniment to the videos where you get more detailed information and you get a nice summary of what you need to know for that month. Definitely check out my program called Shine. This is a 28-day virtual coaching program. It's available on a sliding scale so that it's accessible for everyone, and it's a wonderful program that takes you through 28 days of delving deep within yourself. And boy, if there was ever a month to do this, January is super powerful for going back into things, for going deep into things. This is an amazing time. So I would love to help you with this program bust through the dam of your experience so that your life force energy can rush into your highest expression. That's my department. So check it out, anniehelpsyou.com. Happy New Year. If you believe in this being a new year, it's only half-hearted, but I do want you to be happy. This is the New Year part that I'm half-hearted about. And I'll see you next month.